Hi, hello.
Hello?
Is this
What's
Christopher?
up, Tom? Yeah, man. What's up, man?
Hey, Christopher. This is Tommy Bryson. So this call is be recorded and potentially uploaded to YouTube. If I can help you.
So what's up, man? Just, a big fan, watch your videos, and I wanted to ask you a couple questions about maybe just what I might do with a surplus of income I just kind of
Okay.
got, you know.
All right. So what's your current situation?
So I got you. Let's go into here. So the first thing is like, what is it? Hold on, let me go back. I wrote down the questions. Here we go. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so what it is, I'm a dancer, and I just started making like pretty good money, I guess. COVID's starting to relax out here in Vegas, so
Okay.
I'm starting to I street perform, and I'm starting to get back into doing shows. I'm trying to get back into casinos and maybe doing stuff like that. And I've been
Okay.
able to start making like a really sizable income a day, like five, six, $700, like every day. So I'm like,
How old are
okay,
you?
23. I've never had
So,
this kind of money, bro. You can hear it in my voice. I'm like, whoa.
okay.
So I'm just like, I feel really blessed right now. I've been putting it all up, just saving it up, and I've been putting a little bit of it into stocks and stuff because I watch a lot of your videos. So I'm like, okay, I really just wanted to for me, I wanted to set up a passive income stream because I want financial freedom. I don't want to be independent. I want to be able to do whatever I want. So I
Okay.
just started putting a lot of it into stocks. I think I've only got about 300. I wanted to buy some more. What is it? What do they call it? Some REIT stocks or some ETFs
Mm-hmm.
or stuff like that. I've been, what is it? Just doing a lot of notes right now.
Okay. So here's what it sounds like to me, Christopher. It sounds like I'm 23 years old. I'm a dancer, and all of a sudden I'm making more money than I ever made before, and I don't know exactly what to do with it. Sounds right?
Mm-hmm.
The first
So the future.
thing, the first thing in everything, Christopher, is going to be having a budget to know exactly where your money is going and what your expenses actually are. Now, every budget just has four walls. Those four walls are basically shelter, utilities, groceries, and lastly, transportation. Does that make sense?
Budget, utilities, transportation, shelter. Yep.
Yeah. Everything outside of that is just usually going to be a want, not really something you actually need, right? So you can have that budget right there. You say like, okay, this is my bare bone budget. Okay. Eventually, when you start to make more money, more consistent income, you can say, hey, I want to add this once I'm financially free, all that stuff. That's fine. But right now, that's what you should be doing right now. Now, the biggest thing about whether it's the arts, whether it's YouTube, whether it's acting, whatever it is, those incomes are very fluctuative. Meaning, for example,
Exactly.
you might make a lot of money this month, but
Right
next month you
now.
might be making $2 a week or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So the biggest thing is, there's a story about farmers, right? A smart farmer is going to use the summers when the crops are actually barren to save up food for when the winter comes, right? The same thing
You
with you.
sow and then you reap.
Yeah, the same thing with you, right? Exactly. Same thing with you. If you're making extra money now, the plan is, well, let me speed up everything that I actually have right now. Now, the biggest question I have for you, you're doing dancing, but is dancing what you want to do, for example, as a career, like for the long term?
Yeah, if I could, I want to break down. I want to go to the Olympics for it. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't met this person. Another thing, it's like kind of another blessing, who's really good at what I do, and he's willing to teach me. I hang out with him every day. He's teaching me moves. It's
Mm-hmm.
not easy. It's going to take a year, 2, 3 years for me to get to where I want to be, but I'm willing to
Okay.
put the time in because I see the benefit for it, and
How
that's
much?
my dream. I want to go to the Olympics, so it's a break. It's a sport now, so I'm like, you know what? If I can make some money doing it and I can have a nice life doing it, and then
Mm-hmm.
also, I want to go to school and I want to open businesses and stuff. So I'm like, if it all ends up working out somehow, cool.
Okay. How many hours per day you do you dance?
So I dance for my set is like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, but the amount of time I'm out there, I'll go out at I can wake up late in the day, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and I can go out for maybe 4 hours, 5, 6 hours. Or if I spent longer out there, I could do more, but I don't want to tax my body too much. I don't want to hurt
Okay.
myself. So,
Yeah.
it's a balance.
So let's say it's 6 hours. Now, I asked you that because basically, you're going to need to decide here, right? If you want to go to school, you can go to school while you're dancing also, and that can basically help you pay
Exactly.
for your whole
Exactly.
school costs. So then,
Exactly.
even when you have a 9 to 5 job, for example, or for example, just a career, you can say, well, I'm going to do this to make money while I'm doing this right here as my passion or whatever it is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I would focus on. But the steps are very clear. The first step is basically, do you have any debt?
Nope, I took care. I got everything taken care of, like, right before COVID hit. I got all my credit
Awesome.
card. I ended up taking them care of, and I just opened up some secured cards now because I thought that would be a good idea. I was like, okay, I have money. I can pay off, I can pay whatever off on the credit card with the secured card. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
Here's my advice when it comes to credit cards, okay? The key is you don't need credit to buy a car. You don't need credit to buy a house because there's manual underwriting, which basically means to take a look at your whole financial situation and say, hey, we're going to lend you money or we're not going to lend you money. But having credit just makes the whole process a little bit more easy. Now, the key is not to say, well, I'm going to spend money and I can afford to pay it off every month, so I'm just going to do that, because statistics show that basically people that use credit cards or debit cards, for example, just plastic overall, tend to spend around 18% more money most of the time. So the key is, if what you want a credit card for is to build your credit to make everything more easier when it comes to like buying a house or whatever, what you want to do is say, well, I'm going to grab 2-3 of these credit cards right here, and I'm going to put, for example, a bill on each of these credit cards. Okay?
Okay.
So that means Netflix on one bill, or your light bill and your phone bill another one. Okay? That's the idea. And you pay it off in full every single month. But this way, you have basically a payment history building up. You have a very low amount of money that you actually owe them, which they actually love. And this way, you're not going into debt either. So once I set up those automated payments with bills that you actually need after you have a budget, the answer is I would cut the physical credit cards. That way, I'm not tempted to go out there and use them anymore.
But then you still have them set up for payment, so they're automatically paying off everything every month.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly. That way, you're building your credit score, but you're not, in threat when it comes to like, hey, I'm gonna go into debt. Maybe there's no risk of that because you cut the credit cards and you're only using them for those 2-3 bills there. Does that make sense?
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
Now, that's just like on the side to like build your credit score, right? As far as, since you have no debt, your next step would say, hey, I want to save up money for emergencies. The biggest thing is basically when you have a job that's not secure, where it fluctuates a ton, the answer is you want to have an emergency fund of at least 3 to 6 months. While you're doing this, if you want to invest, you can invest anywhere from 1% to 5 to 10% max. But your priority is going to be just into this emergency account to try to build that up. That's your main priority.
Okay.
So once you have, for example, 3 to 6 months in there, it means, hey, I broke my leg. I have 3 to 6 months to recover. While I'm doing that, I'll work a desk job or an office job, whatever it takes, you know what I mean, to make money.
Right.
Now, the next step is going to be, you got to decide, for example, because you're 23 years old, right? So these steps are going to take you maybe, for example, like 3-4 months to actually get through. It's very simple stuff. The next step is you got to decide, hey, I can either save money to buy a home, like a down payment, which I don't recommend because you're so young right now. My main thing would be, hey, I'm going to save up money to actually pay for whatever I actually want to do as far as like a career-wise. A job is something you do for money, like delivering pizzas or working at McDonald's. A career is something you do for fulfillment and also joy, right? Dancing can be a career, but so can accountant, or so can being a manager. Like things that actually in some way are careers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have an emergency fund fully funded already and you're investing like 10% of your money, the answer is the next step is you raise your investments to 10 to 20%. So you're investing for your retirement. Very important stuff. But all the rest of the money that you actually have, which should be somewhere around like 20 to 30%, you grab that money and you say, I'm going to use this money right here to get either a trade job, to get either a degree in whatever it is. That makes financial sense.
Okay.
You said you wanted to like go to school. What do you want to go to school for?
First, so I went to community college and just messed around. I didn't really. I guess now I just want to learn about money. Like honestly, I want to learn about just that money, investments, starting a business, things like that. Like those 3 things. I mean that might sound like basic, but I want to start my own business. So I'm not sure what business.
What business? You don't know yet?
I was on maybe a drop shipping company, maybe clothing, maybe selling shirts, maybe something like that.
All those things, man, are side hustles. All those
Yeah.
things you're mentioning, those are not careers. Those are side hustles you can do on the side to test them out while you have a job to bring you money in. The big thing is right now you probably have a little false kind of like
I think
comfort
so.
saying like I make money from dancing, can keep doing this. The answer is if that stops, because that's very dependent on your body and dependent on people like kindness in a way, right? My main thing is I want you to get a job in a way, whether it's a job or a career that's actually gonna something you like, something you are good at, and something's gonna make you money. So if you can get something like that, the answer is when it comes to like personal finance, that stuff is just simple stuff. I just gave you the plan, you know.
I
As
think
far as
that's where I struggle. Not the
yeah,
personal finance part. My bad. Is the part of what else do I enjoy besides dancing? Because when I went out to work when I was younger and I just did fast food and I just did stuff like that, I
those are
hated it, and
jobs.
it made
Those are
me hate the
jobs.
idea of a 9 to 5. So my mind was like, I need something that I can do, you know, that I can enjoy when I do it. Like now, I don't always enjoy dancing, but you know, I
It's
love
part of the game.
you know, the people of dancing. There's certain aspects, you know, you don't enjoy, but I love dancing. So I tried to think of a job, you know, same thing. What would I enjoy to do during the day, trading my time for some money, but, you know, I wouldn't mind doing that. And a lot of things are just like, at least out here where I'm at, and I'm out here in Nevada, it's just, I don't want to go do that. Like, I don't want to go work at a casino. I don't really want to go, I don't like being around that atmosphere. I don't want to be around the strip. I don't like being around stuff like that, the drugs and stuff that's over there.
Yeah.
I don't want to work in fast food. I don't want to work in retail. And I know it's a lot of I don't want to, and I hate saying that because I'd rather it be, you know, I can do this and I'll do that. But it's like, I just feel like if you're not happy doing it, then it's like it's going to be work. And I don't want to work. I want to at least get some enjoyment. That way I'm, you know, making money, some kind of enjoyment, but I know I'm working. It needs to be a balance for me, I guess. I'm trying to really find that balance.
That makes sense, you know. And the thing is, a lot of us know what we don't want to do, but we don't know what we do want to do. And the only way you figure out exactly what you do want to do is by tasting things and trying different things out.
Yeah.
So if you like, by the way, I love YouTube, but not every day I want to wake up and do a video. You love dancing, but not every day you want to wake up and dance, right? It's a part of the game. Nothing that you do, you're going to love 100% of the time. It's a false thing, a false idea. So what you want to do is you want to go out there and taste things. If you don't know what jobs you're actually interested in, or for example, the careers you're actually interested in, you go online, what is it called? Laborstatistics.gov, and you find, for example, the top jobs, and they show you, for example, what you can expect on a day-to-day basis, and see, hey, is this something that I would actually enjoy? Maybe get an entry-level position there, try those things out, and say, hey, I actually like this. If I like this, I might go ahead and get a degree in this, or get a certificate in this, or get a license in this. But you don't want to get into finance for the sake of you want to teach yourself finance, because that's very basic. Because you can learn that through videos, you can learn that through books. That's like self-information. As far as the career, is more what can you deliver to other people that is actually going to get you paid and give you enjoyment, like you said. If you don't know what that is, you got to taste things. So you got to try different things out. And it's not just saying, for example, well, I don't like this, I don't like that. It's more about saying like, okay, let me try this out to see what I do like about it that could potentially lead me on to what I do want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's a better way for me to start looking at it. Because like I said, I always go into the I don't want, and I'm trying to get that out of my mind and just start trying different things, because I think it's just going back, you know, being younger, because when I went through going through different jobs, I really didn't like it. So now my mind is now like, I don't want that 9 to 5, but I understand
There's
what
no
you're
problem
saying.
with a 9 to 5 at all, bro. That's like yeah. That's like a Gary Vee thing. The 9 to 5, bro. The average millionaire, the average millionaire has a 9 to 5.
Right. So I'm like, I'm trying to get that. What would be?
Look, this is what I'll tell you, right?
I'm gonna go out and just try.
Yeah, just try different things out, though. Look, right? If I were in your shoes, this is what I would be focused on, Christopher. I would be hyper focused on saving up. How much cash do you have right now?
I think about 6,000-7,000.
Yeah. Okay. What are your bills per month? Like, how much do you spend?
Just $150 on rent, because I moved back in with my mom, so I'm staying here for a little bit. I wanted to go get my own spot, but I'm like, nah, if I can stack up for a while, I'm gonna stay here and do that and help her out around the house and help out my grandma. So $150 for rent, pay my phone bill, whatever that is, $100, whatever. Give that to my mom. We're on the joint account.
How old is your mom?
That's damn 40. Caught me off guard. 45.
45. Okay.
45.
She's young
Yeah,
and
she's a
healthy.
teacher. She's fine. She's doing good. You know, she's healthy. She's well. Grandma, she's in a little bit of she's just got out the hospital and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We had some family problems and something happened to her, so now we're looking after her right now. But
Okay.
you know, I don't mind that. I think if there was something I could do about that, my mom, or something we could do about that to get some money because we're watching her all the time. But we're not thinking
Mm-hmm.
about that because you know, my mom is stable and now I'm able to help out a lot more. And my
Okay.
girl is here with me right now, so she's got a job. She's making a decent income. So I'm just like, I really feel like you said, I feel that comfort level too much, and I don't want that. That's why I
How
keep saying I
how long
don't
have you been with
want.
your girl for?
It's been 5 years now, 5 year anniversary.
Is she your fiance or just your girlfriend?
Uh, she around here soon, very soon. Now,
Okay.
because I
I'm,
can
I'm gonna
save
I'm
up, I
gonna
want to go.
I'm gonna recommend you
Yeah,
two books, okay? And by the way, you don't need to save up to have like this crazy wedding. You can get married
nah.
anytime.
I just wanted to be like, I don't know. One of my friends, before I got even into this, I don't know. It's weird. Just like a lot of stuff that I'm going through. Before I started making the money, my friend told me like, you know, once you get into this, you're gonna start making this money. But hold on, fat, hold on. Once I started like doing all this stuff, he was like, just save up, because he was like, I was in the same situation you're in, bro. Like, when we start making this money and doing this stuff, you're gonna get to a certain level. You're gonna get to 10,000, then you're gonna get to 20, then you're gonna get to 100. And I know that you might not think that, and I know it's like just weird saying it, but I went out there on the street and I went to go stand next to this guy that does exactly what I do, and he
Mm-hmm.
showed me 120,000, and he was like, yeah, I just saved this in a year, and you know he does do other things, and I'm sure he
Mm-hmm.
does. You know, everyone does other things, but it's like he's like basically you have the right mentality. If you stay out here and you work and you get a, like you said, get a 9 to 5. You know, I keep same thing you say to me. When I don't
Yeah.
want it, if you go do it and you go do things, you'll be able to get to a certain level. So I'm just like, it's pretty
Okay.
much like it's hard because I'm like my mind keeps trying to fight it for some reason because I
All right.
hate
All
it
right.
so
All
much.
right.
But I want.
Here's the advice here, Christopher. Right. First
I'm
step
sorry.
is
Back.
it's no, it's okay. It's okay. I want to hear your story. Here's the advice here, right? Because you're 23. You're like a year younger than me, and in a lot of ways, you're a lot like me because it's kind of like the same thing in a way, right? The first thing I'll recommend is you want to read this book. It's called 23 Questions to Marry with Confidence. 23 Questions to Marry with Confidence. And you also want to read a book called The Sacred Search. So if you read those two books right there, it'll help you decide what you're going to do with this girl. Are you going to marry her or you're not going to marry her? Because the big thing is you want to do things in steps, right? And then you got to
Right.
decide once you are married with her, you got to say, okay, so I'm going to move out to a place that's like $1,000, $900, whatever it is. And the idea is, in my position right now, if I were you, I'll be hyper focused on reading those two books, decide what I'm going to do here as far as like getting married or not. And then I would say like, okay, I know what I'm going to do with that, but I want to also, for example, be hyper focused about saving money for emergencies, 3 to 6 months worth. And then as far as investing, just invest 5 to 10 to maybe a max of 15% right now.
Max 15. Okay.
Yeah. And then all the rest of the money that you are making right now, you saved up. If you say, hey, I'm going to get married with this girl, make her my fiance, save up like for the ring, just a month's salary of a low salary, because right now you make a lot of money, but doesn't mean it's gonna be forever. I probably won't
Yeah.
spend
Yeah.
more than $1,000 or $2,000 for the ring, and I won't spend more than $3,000 $4,000 for the wedding. So you save that money up for the wedding, and if you do decide to actually get married, once you're done with that aspect of that, you get married, debt free, all that stuff. The next step is, well, I want to make sure I can have a career, whether it's a trade job, whether it's going to college or whatever it is, and you start saving up money for that. That's the biggest thing.
Oh my God! You just gave me a. I'm sorry. You just this blessing. Just I swear I just thought about it. I wanted to go to school at this place called AIM. It's an automotive, not automotive. It's an aviation place. They teach you how to fix planes. And
Yeah.
they told me that that the quarter it was $44,000 a month $44,000 for the tuition, and that bummed me out because I didn't have it. Even with FAFSA, it took 20,000, but it was still $4,000 a quarter. But now I can pay that. I can maybe right now with my mom, if I get a loan or something, I can
No, no,
pay
no, no,
that.
no, no,
I
no,
can
no.
do it.
I don't want you. I don't want you to take money out, bro. That's not what I'm gonna
Oh
recommend you at
God.
all. I don't want you to borrow money. The thing is, right? If you're gonna do the whole aviation thing, is that a bachelor's degree or something like that, or is that like a trade thing?
It's a trade thing. It's like you get what I don't know. I don't want to say certificate, but it's like it's a certificate that you need to work on aviation. Like you have to get that certification to work
Okay.
on planes. And then
Well,
once you
look,
get that,
well, just make sure you're not paying for the school and you're paying for the program. Because if you can
right,
get that from
right,
somewhere else for cheaper, you want to do that. If you want to get into aviation, great. But the answer is you want to do it in a way where you don't borrow a lot of money. So that means if
right,
you want to go to college, the goal is you want to apply between 100 to 200 scholarships. You start at the community level, then the state level, then the national level. You apply to 100 to 200 scholarships. And if you get also, for example, FAFSA and all that stuff, okay, great. If you have cash coming in from your dancing, okay, great. But you also might need, for example, a second job. And that's going to be all your life for those 2-3 years. And that's going to be fine
right,
because once you are done with that, you can say, okay, now I have this career here. I can do this from X time to X time. From X time to X time, I'm dancing. I'm doing whatever I want to do. And then I'm just building up a bunch of money. Now, a big thing is you got to realize that not every passion has to be monetized, even when it's able to be monetized. Does that make sense?
yeah.
If you
Like
wanna do dancing, right, and if you're just
I
doing
do
it
it.
because you enjoy it, great. If you want to do the professional level, then don't stop doing it while you still have that job, because eventually, once dancing does make you consistent money for the next 24 months, a minimum of 24 months, making you more money than your job, you can say, okay, I'm gonna quit that job for now. It's always gonna be there. I have my certificate, everything like that. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
dancing while I figure things out. Does that make sense?
Yep. That makes clear sense. Yeah.
Okay, but it all starts with
Oh,
you right now reading those books about marriage, saving up for emergencies, and if you're gonna be invest, just like invest 5 to 10%, nothing crazy for retirement to your Roth IRA, and then
mm-hmm.
the rest of the money you save it up for school. Once you're done with school, by that point, for example, you're not 23 anymore, you're 25, 26 maybe. You say, hey, do we want to buy a house? If you do, you can save up money for down payments and you can work towards that. But by that point, you're debt free because you didn't take out any loans for the school or anything like that. You have a full blown emergency account. You also have some investments, and you also have, for example, the down payment for the home. You buy the home on a 15-year mortgage, follow the 33% rule. It basically means the property you buy cannot exceed 33% of your monthly income. But that's another topic for another day. But right
Yeah.
now, that's your goal right now. Emergencies. Find out if you're gonna marry this girl or not marry her. If you're gonna marry her, that takes priority over everything else. So you save up the money for the ring, $1,000. Buy a used ring. Recommend that. That's what I did also. You can buy because
Gotcha.
because new rings are sold for like 2-3 times of the actual like appraisal value. So it doesn't make
I know.
sense. So you just buy
Mm-hmm.
a used ring. You go online on eBay. That I used eBay, and then when you go on eBay, you can say, hey, let me go to the official website of this person to get even a bigger discount. Buy the ring, save it for the wedding. You get married, move out your mama's crib, and then, for example, now you're living with your fiance. Does she work also?
Yeah. She's doing what I used to do. Also, she's doing the work from home stuff. She's working.
Okay.
Yeah, doing like I used to
Okay.
like that. It was okay. It wasn't bad. You get to sit at home, make a decent amount
Mm-hmm.
while I'm home.
But
Something
but
like
once but once you guys are married and it's both of you, now you're not alone. So if things do get shaky with you in one point, at least you have her to also help you. When you're married, it's the Bible says you're joining two holes into one, right? So now you can say,
right.
hey, our money is our money. It's not your money and my money is our money. So now you can move towards this goal with even more expedient speed.
Right, right.
Okay.
We've been thinking about going to accounting stuff too because we haven't been together so long. It's just always been a thing, I guess, of like having a separate account and like you got yours and I got
Well,
mine. But
right now you want to have separate accounts because you're not married.
exactly.
You only have joint accounts and all that stuff when you're married. For the people that say, for example, oh, marriage is just a piece of paper. I don't want the government in my business, all that stuff. Well, money is just a piece of paper. Your deed to your house is just a piece of paper. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's a
Right.
false argument. It's just how things work.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, so what's the plan?
So right now the plan is to build up the emergency fund, save up
3
money
to
for
6 months.
school, save money. Um, what is it?
3 to 6 months for
Yeah.
emergencies.
Right now, that's my main priority is the emergency fund for 3 to 6 months. Read
Mm-hmm.
the two books, 23 Questions, Married with Confidence, and then The Sacred Search.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be investing about 10. I'll probably do 5 to 10% of my
Yeah.
income every month because I feel like that'll be a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Go on eBay, look for a used wedding ring at some point if I get time. Start looking around for different trades. start looking around for different start.
But you gotta pick. If you try to spread yourself too thin, you're gonna have a problem, right? These are steps. You go step by step, right? So, save for emergencies. You buy those 2 books. Those 2 books are like $24, like together. You read those books. You decide, hey, am I gonna marry you? Or am I not gonna marry you? If you are, you save for the ring. At your current pace, how much money you actually have. By the way, you're probably not thinking about this, but if you have $7K right now, literally by today, you can have a full-blown emergency account. By tomorrow, you have those books. By Monday next week, you've read them.
That's why I didn't. I was trying to organize as much as I can while we were talking, but I get lost, so I didn't organize it like number 1 in bullet points. I would like to, so that way. That's how I usually do stuff now. It really helps. Is I put it on my calendar and I put it, in a note goal, in a goal thing, like what do I want to do today, and then every day cross off as many things as I can, and that helps me get it done. So.
Awesome. You should read the 4-Hour Workweek too. That's a great book about managing your time.
What is it?
4-Hour Workweek.
4-Hour Workweek.
Yeah, it's a great book about managing your time. But that's all it is, man. Once you decide on the whole marriage thing, if you're gonna do that, put the money aside for that. You shouldn't spend a bunch of money on that stuff. Maybe like $5,000, $6,000 on that. You're good to go. And then you start saying, once you have the money on the side there. And by the way, so you save up like $4,000 for emergencies at your current pace of where you currently are. You spend maybe like $3,000-$4,000 for the whole wedding thing. You can have those savings there also by the end of the month, if you're actually gonna get married and all that stuff. And then you can say, okay, now I'm gonna start saving up for the whole school thing. And while you're doing that, consider getting another job too. So you're not at home just like just chilling, thinking about what you don't want to do. You know something that helped me out a lot, man. I used to watch Casey Neistat a lot. Do you know who he is?
You said who?
Casey Neistat. It was this vlogger from back in the day when I was like in college. And the point is that he always said in his videos, if you want to find out what you want to do with your life, do something you hate and you don't like. You start to get a lot of ideas about what you could be doing. So for him, that was washing dishes at a restaurant. For me, that was work study, working at the Gap, retail, couldn't stand it, flipping phones, flipping sneakers, and trying to do things I didn't like. When you do things you don't like, right, you start to get a lot of ideas about the things that you could be doing that you actually do enjoy and you actually love.
I've heard that before. That sounds familiar. I've heard that before. When you're not doing something you want to do, your mind goes to a lot of places of what you could be doing. Yeah. Where you would want time.
Yeah. Now the goal is not to keep a job for 20 years. You know what I mean?
I got you, bro. I understand.
Yeah, but you just start delivering pizzas, do Uber Eats, whatever it is, and just get like a side job while you're doing your dancing thing, and you start to save up a lot of money, like just to expedite everything, and you're going to school, and then you'll see like, okay, so I want to do this, I want to do that, and then that's it. Once you decide what you want to do, you launch yourself into it. That's all it is.
All right, man. I really appreciate your time. I think I got a lot of notes from this, and I think
brother. Awesome.
Listen, man, I appreciate you for real.
Okay. And by the way, Christopher, these calls are not like a one-time thing. So if you want to call me back in a few months from now, a few weeks from now, and all that stuff, and just tell me how everything's going, feel free to schedule another call. Okay.
I would love to, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Peace out. Have fun.
You too. Bye.
All right, guys. So that right there was Christopher, and what a call! It's so insane. Yesterday I spoke to a 23-year-old that had 3 kids. Okay. When I was 23 years old, I was kind of like Christopher, not really like Christopher that much, but there's so many different levels to who you could be at whatever age you are. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to the pure basics. And the basics are, you got to choose to do something. And by the way, Tommy, why would he tell him to get a job when he does dancing? Why not just launch yourself fully in dance? Because basically dancing is something. Yes, you could do it 100%. And that's why I didn't tell him to quit dancing, but to do something also on the side, because you never know what's going to happen with that stuff. One thing I should have told him was to get disability insurance, because you never know. If you break a leg and you can't do your job anymore, which is dance, okay? You need your legs for that, and your arms, and your body, right? That's your number one tool there. What happens when you can't do that job? The answer is you have a problem. What happens if we have another pandemic or another close down? The answer is you can't get any money either. So when you have, for example, hey, I want to do the whole aerial thing or whatever it is, right? With airplanes or aircrafts, okay? If you want to do that, great. You go after that, you get that. But you do it in a way where you save up the money. When you're making a lot of money, the goal is you got to save for winter. That's always the goal. The goal is, well, I have a lot of money now. I'm going to go ahead and buy me a fancy watch, some fancy headphones, fancy phone. No. Don't do that, okay? Don't increase your expenses. It's a dumb idea. The answer is you want to solidify yourself. So you want to grab that income and use that income to put you in a better spot. It's crazy to think that basically in 1 month, this guy right here can have a full-blown emergency account, okay? Decide if he's gonna get married or not, right? Because it's been 5 years. Like, what are you waiting for? Same thing with me at the time. And, that's the whole idea, So much change can happen once you know exactly what the plan of action actually is. And that's why I made these videos right here, guys, okay? Now, if you want to talk to me one-on-one on my next call for 30 minutes for free, by the way, link down below, schedule a call with me today. But by the way, the calls are going to be starting to get cut and cut. So you might not be able to get one. So schedule one today while you still can. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. And on top of that, also destroy the like button. And if you want to check me out on my main channel, link down below to my main channel. And my second channel, Tommy Bryson Show, also link down below. And if you want to DM me on Instagram, here's my Instagram right here at Tommy Bryson, okay? See you guys tomorrow. Another video here. My face right here. See you guys tomorrow. As always, peace.